When it comes to titties, a lot of you guys are making mistakes. A lot of you guys DM me and say I make mistake when it comes to making chicken titties. First things first, I call chicken breast chicken titties. Welcome to this new series of basic throwdown techniques that in this series, I get to show you the techniques that you need to know in order to become an excellent throwdown queen or throwdown king. Now, as I said, and as you've seen, we're going to be whipping up chicken breasts. It is something that a lot of people get wrong. And I'm going to point out to you 3 things that you may be doing wrong in order for your chicken to turn out dry. Maybe it's just not turning out great. So the first mistake is you're overcooking your chicken. Depending on how thick your chicken is, chicken breast rather, it should cook for about 6 to 8 minutes. This is on the stovetop. All of that matters based on how thick the chicken is. If you cut it in half, then of course the cook time reduces. If you cook it longer than that, it's gonna taste dry, it's gonna taste rubbery, and we do not want that in 2022. Now, mistake number 2, you are not seasoning your chicken titty before it hits the stove. A lot of people wanna put the chicken titty and we're done. Nah, hit it at least with some salt and pepper. Those are 2 basics that you should always add onto your chicken titty, and trust you me, that flavor will penetrate. As you've seen in our first video for 2022, I made some chicken breast. I seasoned it with salt, pepper, paprika. If you haven't watched that video, it's just popped up. And those 3 ingredients do really, really well when it comes to seasoning your chicken. Now, mistake number 3, you're probably over marinating your chicken titties. Stop doing that to them titties. Okay, let me explain how. When you are marinating your chicken and you use something like a citrus or a vinegar or anything with acid, you are going to end up over marinating the chicken and it breaks down the components of the protein. So when it comes to chicken breast, if it's not bone in, if it doesn't have a bone, you can go crazy and marinate it for about even 2 to 4 hours overnight if you have skipped on the citrus, of course. The good thing is though, chicken breast can sip into those marinades with ease. So if you're going to marinate your chicken overnight, please be sure not to use vinegar or anything acidic that will cause for the chicken titty to be over marinated and break down the proteins. Now that you know the 3 mistakes, let's get to cooking. I'm gonna start things off by marinating, or rather mixing everything that we need for our marinade in here. So we have cayenne pepper, ginger, honey, soy sauce, and we're using ginger powder, not fresh ginger. If you need more details on what we're using, you can check out the description box below. And I love using freshly ground black pepper. So just gonna mix this up together. Now, the major reason why I'm mixing it separately is because I can be able to taste and adjust it if it's not sweet to my liking and all that kind of stuff. I think it's very important for you to taste your marinade to know what needs to be adjusted accordingly. Just the way I like it. Perfect. So we're using 1/2 of a chicken titty, and we're just gonna pierce it like so that the marinade can, of course, sip in there. Now, as much as we're gonna be dipping it into some soy sauce, we're still gonna hit it with just a little bit of salt. It's very important for you to season in stages. And as you can see, I'm not going crazy with the salt. I'm just putting just like a little hint and put it in our sauce. Like so. Just making sure it soaks up all that good stuff. And you can leave it here for 30 minutes, an hour, 4 hours, 6 hours, or even you can make this in the morning and then just come make it for dinner at night. Just making sure it's well coated. Now we're gonna head on over to the stove and throw down. Our pan is nice and hot. We're gonna hit it with oil. Now we're gonna go in with our chicken titty. It's been about 3 minutes now. I'm gonna flip this over. this stuff that's coming out right over here, that's the protein. That's usually a good indicator on how your chicken is cooking. So we've cooked this for about 6 to 7 minutes. And it's time for the moment of truth. I'm cutting at the thickest part. Now, I want to show you something. You see, this shows you that it's still a little bit under, which is a very good thing. Why? You can just simply do this. Take it, put it back in the pan, and let it cook for another minute. So I popped the chicken back in for another minute. As you can see, moist and cooked through. And we're just gonna cut it again so you can see. Moist, you see that? That is a beautiful piece of chicken breast. I purposely undercooked the chicken so that I can show you guys when you've undercooked a piece of titty that you can pop it back onto the stove for another minute or two and it's just right. The chicken is moist and now it's time for the true test. Maybe our camera guy can try first. Let's hear it from the back. Ooh. Well, he tries that. It's spicy. Speak up. Let's hear what you say. I don't know. Moist.
You have to feel it. Talk about it.
That's how you body some chicken. Let me say this. I hope this video was so helpful for you to know to navigate the next time you're making chicken breast, because you need to be making titties that are moist. If you are not, revisit back this video so you can see what you possibly missed. Also, one last tip. I know here in Kenya, a lot of us love to eat kuku kienyeji, which is pretty much roadrunner chicken. Roadrunner chicken doesn't cook as fast as broiler chicken. I tend to always cook with broiler chicken breast on here, so I think I should share that as a disclaimer in case you go ahead to make some kuku kienyeji chicken breast and you're like, that shit is tough. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Anyway, guys, I hope this episode was really helpful. Please leave a like if it was. Leave a comment and let me know what's your tip when you're making chicken titties. You saw what I did there. But in the meantime, between time, I'm going to leave you. And I hope I'm leaving you eating something delicious and with some new knowledge. Peace.